They bullied me relentlessly all through school and laughed at the idea I'd ever succeed. So years later, I rented a helicopter, crashed their reunion in style, and watched their smiles disappear. I didn't even want to open the envelope at first. It was sitting there on my kitchen counter, buried under some junk mail, like it had been quietly waiting for the right moment to ruin my day. White paper, bold black lettering, gold embossed border. The kind of thing that screams special occasion, but for me, felt more like a bad joke. Jefferson High, class of 2010, reunion. The words might as well have been written in blood. I stared at it for a long time, feeling that old knot in my stomach twist tighter. I could practically hear the voices already, the snickers, the fake polite greetings, the muttered, "Can you believe he actually showed up?" to someone's friend. It had been 15 years since I walked out of that school for the last time, but somehow, the memories were still sharp enough to cut. High school was supposed to be where you find yourself, right? Yeah, well, I found out that sometimes, all you really find is where you don't belong. From the first week of freshman year, I was marked like a deer with a limp wandering into a wolf pack. I wasn't the class clown or the sports guy or the charming kid who could talk his way out of detention. I was just me. Awkward, quiet, skinny in a way that made my elbows look like weapons. And that was enough. The ringleader was Ryan Calloway, quarterback. Homecoming king, cliche in a Letterman jacket. His sidekicks were basically clones of him, just with worse haircuts. To them, I was plain boy because I'd once mentioned in a get-to-know-you icebreaker that my dream was to be a pilot. That single throwaway comment became my permanent label, plain boy. Said with a smirk, like they were spitting something bitter out of their mouths. The first big hit came sophomore year, cafeteria lunch. I was carrying a tray, minding my business, when I heard Ryan's voice call out across the room. "Yo, plain boy. You gonna fly us to class on your paper airplane?" Laughter. Not just from his table, from half the room. I tried to ignore it, kept walking, but then one of his buddies accidentally stuck his foot out. Tray down, milk all over my jeans, a burger sliding across the floor like it was trying to escape too. The whole cafeteria erupted, and there it was, the first real memory that would burn itself into my brain. It didn't stop there. They'd draw little cartoon planes on my locker, complete with stick figures falling out. Shoved paper airplanes at me in the hallway. Once, Ryan convinced the gym teacher to have me demonstrate how to run a lap, and tripped me halfway through. The worst part wasn't even the bullying. It was the people who saw it and laughed. Kids I thought were decent, even some I'd called friends in middle school. They all chose the safer side. And the teachers, forget it. If I complained, it was brushed off with, "Just ignore them, they'll get bored." They didn't. Senior year, the last week before graduation. By then, I'd gotten better at keeping my head down, counting the days until I could leave. But Ryan wasn't done. During the end-of-year assembly where awards were being handed out for everything from sports to most likely to succeed, Ryan got the student council to add a funny category. Most likely to crash and burn. And guess whose name they called? I remember walking up to that stage, every muscle in my body screaming at me to just turn and run. But I didn't. I took the little paper award they printed, walked back to my seat, and kept my face blank. Inside, though, something cracked. That was the moment I promised myself I would get out. I would make something of myself. And one day, I'd make sure Ryan Calloway and everyone who laughed would know exactly who I became. The reunion invitation was still sitting there, like a dare. 15 years later, I had a life no one at Jefferson High would have predicted. But in that moment, I realized I'd never really close that chapter. I'd just put it in storage. And now, they wanted to see me again? Fine. But I wouldn't just show up. I'd make damn sure they'd never forget it. That night, after the